What's up, nerd geeks and gamers alike? It's your boy, NerdyNick_91, but you can just call me Nick. Anyways, I know it's been a while since my last video. I am not going to apologize.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Because like you guys are aware, I put out videos when I can and when I want. I'm a full-time dad, got a full-time job. I'm also getting married this year, so there's a lot of planning and stuff going on. It's pretty crazy. But I put out a poll on Twitter last week asking you guys what you want to see for my next video. The options were dead franchises that I want to see come back, pasta, because if you guys aren't aware, I've been on a giant homemade pasta kick. And then the last was working out or fitness. Pasta almost beat dead franchises. So if you're watching this right now, you got it. We are getting dead franchises that I want to see come back. So first and foremost, thank you for voting. I'll put up a poll next week to see what you guys want to watch, because honestly, I want to make videos you guys want to see. There are going to be times where I make videos that I want to make just because I want to make them. This is my channel. But without further ado, let's just get into it. Number 10. Alright, so for my number 10 entry, did I say entry? I said entry.
Yeah.
Damn it! Alright, so number 10 is none other than Wave Race. Now, I'm just talking about the franchise in general. Some of the games that I'm going to be showing you guys are just the representation of the franchise. I do have the original Wave Race, but this one for the GameCube, Wave Race Blue Storm, was easier for me to grab off of a shelf because, as we all know, N64 games don't have spine labels.
Emotional damage!
Anyways, this franchise, or really any kind of action sports game, I feel has been kind of missing for the last decade or so. And when it comes to water-based action sports games, they just kind of hit a certain spot for me because I really dig water sports. I love going to the pool, I love floating down the river on a tube, I love going to the lake, I love going to the beach. Water for me is just super calming, but when you mix a motor sport with the water, it is just absolutely a whole nother dimension. When I went up to Seattle 2 years ago now, jeez, it's almost been, has it been 2 years? Almost 2 years? When I hung out with Cody from Pink Gorilla and Metal Jesus, we went jet skiing and we had the time of our lives. And I just remember being on the water feeling like nothing else mattered. And I popped this into my GameCube not too long ago, and I kind of felt reminded of that whole feeling. And I was like, you know what? There hasn't been a solid jet ski wave race type of game that's come out in so long, at least not that I'm aware of. And I think we need to revive some solid water action sports based games. Number 9. Coming in at number 9 is an absolute classic. I'm sure you can't see it worth a damn, but this is Turok, the Dinosaur Hunter. Now, I know Turok has kind of had its ups and downs throughout the years, especially with its kind of hit or miss reboot that came out on the Xbox 360, PS3. But Turok, I think in this day and age, with what technology we have, and maybe just a different team to work on a good story, could really make this franchise thrive again and push first-person shooters into a different direction. Sure, there's no problem with games like Call of Duty, Halo, and other first-person shooters that are out there today, but I still like a heavy nostalgia dump in my games. Like, let's be real. I'm a kid of the 90s. I've got my VHS tapes right next to me of Captain Planet, the Mario Brothers Super Show, and like Back to the Future. But when Turok came out, it really did kind of like push the N64's limits. I mean, if you look into the research and development of this game, it really did push the limits of the N64. It even got delayed because they were trying to make it as best as possible for the system at the time. Now, does it need to be like a Switch exclusive or anything like that? No, not at all. I would love to be able to play a modern day Turok game on my Xbox Series S, my PS4 even, because I can't find a fucking PS5 to save my damn life. Thank you, scalpers. But there's just something about Turok that has always pulled me to it. Maybe it's because I grew up in the dinosaur phase of everything. I mean, we had shows like Dinosaurs on ABC. We had Jurassic Park. You know, we had Cadillacs and dinosaurs. We just everything. Even Street Sharks was like kind of part of that whole anthropomorphic push, like dinosaurs and creatures and stuff. And I just always have a good time whenever I play this game. Yes, it has its flaws. There's a lot of fog, especially because it's an N64 game. But there's just something captivating about running around a giant map with a bow and arrow and a knife and, you know, sure, some pistols and whatnot, slaying dinosaurs and other enemies that just want to fucking kill you.
Number 8.
Next up at number 7, numbers are hard, is Dark Watch. Published by Capcom and developed by High Moon Studios, this is an awesome, completely out of nowhere take on horror, first-person shooting action set in the Wild West. When I first played this game, when it came out, I was blown away. I had never seen or played a game like this, and I wanted more. The weapons were old school, but unique. I mean, you had a revolver that had a giant blade under the handle grip that you could use as a melee to be like a one-hit kill. This game, it's just so cool. You play as I think it's like a train bandit who gets attacked by vampires, becomes a vampire. You learn about this whole agency called the Dark Watch, who is basically, you know, this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type against the Dark Forces. And the game has just an onslaught of awesome enemy characters that really just kind of come from the land of nightmares. This game should either get a reboot or a remake, remaster, whatever. We just need this game to come back because it brought such a stylized performance for first-person shooters that was a nice departure from your Halos, your Call of Duties, your Battlefields. And I, quite frankly, find this game to be extremely well balanced. You have your supernatural abilities, the graphics, we're keeping that in. The graphics were awesome for the time. I think it runs, HD TV 480p. Amazing for the time. I mean, the Xbox obviously has this version. The PS2 has a version. This one is just optimized to run the best. It's fun, it's creepy, it's kooky. It's not your Addams Family, it's Dark Watch. So I've come to the fucking realization that maybe my numbering on all of this hasn't been the best. So, this is actually number 10, 9, 8, 7. And it is Tribes. Now this version, yes, it is the PS2 version of Tribes. This is Tribes Aerial Assault for the PlayStation 2 and is online capability. I know you probably can't see it from right here. It almost looks like the explicit lyrics warning, but it says features online capabilities. A lot of PS2 games had that, or it had a really cool silver insignia on it that had like a cool little PlayStation Online logo. Tribes has always been an awesome online first-person shooter, team co-op arena shooter that was just a really fun game to play. I had the fortunate ability to be able to play a lot of the Tribes games because back when I was younger, my dad and I built a PC and we were constantly upgrading it and whatnot, and Tribes was one of the games that him and I enjoyed playing. When I saw this for the PS2, I was like, awesome! I don't need to buy a new graphics card, sound card, whatever. I just pop it in my PS2. Back then too, I also had the online PS2 adapter. When I played EverQuest Online on my PS2. Which unfortunately, you can't really do anything with anymore. When I see it at resale stores, I'm like, why are you even selling this? There's no way for you to fucking play it. Anyways, I have to say something real quick about this. Tribes, again, is in my video featuring dead franchises that I want to see come back. Official PlayStation magazine for the United States in 2002, or June 2002, had the fucking balls to say, goodbye Halo. Goodbye Halo. Who's featured in the Dead franchise video? I rest my case. But there's a reason why. That they had the nerve to say that, other than absolute fucking bias because the console wars had been revived with Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. I always, when I think of Tribes, I think about this game because I had such a fun time playing Tribes Aerial Assault on my PS2. I would sit for hours and hours at night playing online or playing with bots if my mom needed to use the phone because dial-up. But it was just such fun. The jetpacks, the weapon combos, the different classes of warrior that you could pick, and all the vehicles. I remember loading up a giant dropship, flying to the other side of the map, dropping out my teammates, and then just ripping shit apart. It was a super fun game, and I think nowadays with how many arena shooters there are online, like games like Fortnite, this would fit right in, and I think it is prime to have a comeback. I don't know anything about the licensing or whatnot because I know Sierra was the big company behind this game. Sierra is really not a thing anymore, so I don't know how we can get this game back, but we should get this game back.
Number 6!
Now, we're going to talk about Wipeout. This is my copy of Wipeout for my Sega Saturn, and there comes the manual because when I bought this, the jewel case was just completely destroyed. And I still somehow paid $15 for this because the fucking vendor at the expo I was at wouldn't budge. Whatever. I was like, 15 bucks? Okay. I saved $1,000 for this convention. I can spare $15. Wipeout is an awesome... If you live under a rock, maybe you're young, maybe you don't know anything about Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1 games, whatnot, let me be your guide. Let me be your papa, okay? A Papa Nick, telling you about the video games, okay? Wipeout is a futuristic racing game where you drive or pilot a hovercraft type of vehicle, okay, that can have weapons, speed boosts, awesome music tracks by Prodigy, you know, the ones that are kind of famous for songs like Firestarter, you know, R.I.P. He died, killed himself like 2 years ago. Anyways, this game was just totally awesome. Kind of like what you would expect an F-Zero to be, with 90s edge, pushing it even further into the future. Wipeout has like a really cool collection on the PS4. I mean, it's even got VR mode, which I tried. Totally fun, totally crazy. Like, all you need is a really cool like chair to go with it to make you feel like you are just completely submersed in that game. But I need to see a new Wipeout title. I love futuristic based games like this, especially ones that are just pure balls to the wall crazy. And that's exactly what you get with Wipeout. From the music, to the tracks, to the vehicles, it's all you need to have a really great night of fun. Grab some pizza, get your friends over, grab some beers, and play some Wipeout. Now coming in at number 5 is one of my favorite games ever. That is Time Splitters 2. The whole series in general is awesome, but Time Splitters 2 always hit a sweet spot with me in my nostalgia, my memory of playing the game, and just the story, the fucking whacked out crazy story that is Time Splitters 2. Now as a whole, I would like to see this entire franchise come back. And like I said earlier in the video, these games that I'm displaying are just a representation of the franchises, but in this case especially, Time Splitters 2, I would love to see a remaster or a remake come out. This totally has GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye, and 64 vibes all over it. And that's because it was developed pretty much by the same team. If you're unfamiliar with Time Splitters, the game is just so far out and crazy, it's almost hard to explain. Each mission or level, you're going to a different era in time, whether that be going to the Notre Dame Cathedral, or going to the Wild West, or going to the future, and it's all cyberpunk. The game is just all over the place. But what's awesome about it is the gameplay, the stylization, because it's just so in your face and out there. The character designs are pretty unique. The graphics are a sign of their times, right? Like when you pop this in, you're like, wow, this still looks really sharp. It doesn't. Even when it came out, it didn't look sharp. But that kind of added to its draw, I guess. You know, when I played this, I was like, I'm playing a cartoon first-person shooter, even though it was a 3D game. But what really hit hard with Time Splitters was the multiplayer. The multiplayer was bonkers. There was like map editors, you could put like turrets in different places. I always set up my levels to be almost like a tower defense type of level where me and my friends would go, you know, like, you know, 1v1 and just rip shit apart. And what's awesome too is the character selection. You can play as a little monkey who's quick and runs around and shoots your shit up. And you can't fucking catch him or see him because he's so small and quick. Time Splitters is, oh god, I'm just looking at the back here. Game of the Year title. Awesome. Heir apparent to GoldenEye. That was by EGM. I mean, this game is just so awesome, unique, extravagant, and I think really with the technology we have nowadays, with the times have changed, storytelling has evolved, developed, Time Splitters really, in my mind, definitely deserves a revival. Real quick, before we even crack into the top 3, I should express, again, that these are my opinions and my views. Because my cameraman was like, bro, this game should be number 1, blah blah blah. You know what? My video, my rules. And coming in at number 4 is Pokmon Stadiums. No, I'm kidding, it's Pokmon Stadium. I just love this game. I don't know, like, why Nintendo and, you know, the Pokemon Company have been, like, just sitting on this franchise, not doing shit with it. Like, yeah, Pokken Tournament was cool, and it was a neat twist on Pokemon, like, it's a fighting game and whatever, but, like, it didn't even have all the Pokemon on it. And Pokmon Stadium is just easy and fun to play. You don't even have to be a gamer to be able to be good at this game. You just strategy, fun. The mini games are awesome in it. The Ekans toss onto the Diglets, the Clefairy memorization game. All of it was just really fun. I mean, I remember too, just even when I got this game, it came with the pack that you put in the back of your controller that you can pop in your cartridge, transfer over your Pokemon from your Game Boy Color games into the game. And I remember too, maybe it's a fever dream, maybe I remember this, but I remember being able to play my Pokemon Blue on my N64 on my TV. I remember like this Game Boy Tower thing. Maybe it was a fever dream, maybe it's real. I don't know, I haven't tried it in a while. But The base game is just awesome. Unfortunately, I never had Pokmon Stadium 2 or Pokemon Coliseum, which I think is a spin-off of Pokemon Stadium. I'm not sure. I didn't have a GameCube when I was younger. I had a PS2 and an Xbox. But I know that this franchise has been sitting around for a long time doing nothing. They brought back Pokemon Snap with new Pokemon Snap. So why not give the people what they've been missing out on and give us Pokemon Stadium for the Switch? It would be an awesome online multiplayer game where you have your Pokemon, you face the other person's Pokemon online, you have live chat going, you talk shit. It'd be a fun time. I mean, I don't know how else I would want to spend a Friday night other than battling Pokemon online, making a 5-year-old feel like absolute garbage. It's just the dream. Now, all jokes aside, this game really is worth coming back to. Even if you don't bring it back, even if you don't make a modern version of it, make sure to try to pick up Pokemon Stadium. I don't know the price on it right now because prices for like all these games have gone astronomically high. This is actually my original cart, and it has my name written on it right here where it says this game belongs to, I wrote Nicholas C. Don't know if you can really see that from here, but it's whatever. Anyways, Pokemon Stadium, bring it back. Such a fun game. All the mini games, everything. Fun times. Kind of had to wonder what game it was. Yeah, no, I know now. No, it's fine. Did you stop?
No.
Okay. We're rolling. I had taken like a 10-minute break. Fuck off.
Do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Anyways, coming in at number 3, Jet Moto. The one I'm holding is Jet Moto 2. Jet Moto 2 is a game that I have a lot of nostalgia for because I played it a ton when I was a lonely only child growing up. My sister's adopted, she doesn't count. So, anyways, Jet Moto in general is just an awesome game. For those of you who don't know what it is or how it plays, it is a hover bike racing game that has amazing, completely different stylized maps. I mean, you have LA, for example, that is after an apocalypse, it seems like, that you can race through. It's sunny, like clear skies and whatever, but just to be able to race through that map and like see like downed airplanes in the ocean that you can like ride over and whatnot and go through all the crumbled streets and whatnot, to desert canyons and snow valleys and futuristic maps. It's just an awesome game. It's really fun. The multiplayer in it is fun too. I don't know. Okay, so it is 1 or 2 players. You can't use a multi-tap, at least in number 2. There's no combat per se in the game, but you can knock other hovercraft bikes over and whatnot. It's just a really fun game, and again, action sports, you know, futuristic action sports games, I really miss them. This one was developed by 989 Studios and published by Sony. It's awesome. It's edgy, you know, this came out peak 90s edge, punk, up in your face kind of style. And maybe my whole list is kind of based on that nostalgia, but this one really hits home when it comes to that. And if we're even talking about this versus Wipeout, I would rather, and sorry for the hardcore Wipeout fans, would rather see a comeback for Jet Moto over Wipeout, which explains why it's lower or higher on the list, depending on how you're looking at it. Closer to number 1. I don't know what needs to happen for this game to come back, this franchise, but I would love to see Jet Moto come back in a huge fashion, especially with the graphics nowadays compared to the, you know, like PS1 polygonal graphics age. I think it would just be so awesome. And there's really not a game that's filled this void since it's been around. Anyways, Jet Moto. Alright guys, we're down to the top 2. Either one of these, in my opinion, could be swapped had one of them not been my favorite titles of all time. If not my favorite title of all time. So coming in at number 2 is a genuine classic. Woo, look at that. Twisted Metal. We have the original Twisted Metal for the PS1 and the last iteration of Twisted Metal on the PS3. I haven't ever played a vehicular combat game that hits the notes that this franchise does. I remember, again, growing up, single child, just feeling like I was playing with other people when I played Twisted Metal. Because if you're not familiar with this game, Twisted Metal pits you, which is, you know, the player. You can pick your own vehicle, or in some games create your own vehicle, like in Twisted Metal 4, and use that throughout the story mode. And you're going up against all these different other enemies, and it felt like, before I even knew what online multiplayer was, before it ever came out, it felt like an online multiplayer game that we would consider nowadays. Every map, every destination, every even character, everything was so different and just felt unique throughout every iteration. I'm a gamer that appreciates games for what they are. And I know Twisted Metal has a hardcore fan base, that you have the loyalists who love Twisted Metal 1 and all it represents, and then you also have the fans who liked the 989 Studios versions of Twisted Metal. I think it was like 3 and 4. Yeah. You know, and then you have this franchise, or this iteration of fans. You also have Twisted Metal Black, Twisted Metal Head On, even Twisted Metal Small Brawl. I really liked Twisted Metal Small Brawl too, because it was a different take on the whole franchise, you know, being a more geared towards kids and whatnot. But either way, Twisted Metal is large enough to garner a TV show that's coming out with Anthony Mackie, who is of Falcon and the Winter Soldier fame in the Marvel franchise. If that TV show is a success, I mean, even if it's not a success, right, you would think that Sony would be developing a game to launch side by side with the TV series. I haven't heard anything of a new game coming out. We're recording this towards the end of February 2022. I think it's prime time to bring out Twisted Metal for the PS5, make it backwards compatible for PS4, and revitalize this franchise, because you don't want to bring a franchise like Twisted Metal to the TV world and introduce Twisted Metal in a show that's really not, like, let's be real, it's not going to be a solid story like these games were. It's going to be completely different, it's going to be re-geared and introduced to an audience that has no idea what Twisted Metal is, because nowadays, like, maybe some of my younger viewers might not know what this is, and your first take on Twisted Metal is going to be that TV show. That's not what Twisted Metal is. This is what Twisted Metal is. And I think it would be smart for Sony, especially during this whole, like, new age console war where you've got Xbox buying, you know, all these other companies, and Sony buying Bungie and this and that. It would just be a great time to be like, you know what? Let's dig back to our roots. What grew us as a company, what brought players to our consoles with our exclusives, because everyone says Sony is all about their exclusives. You got Horizon, you've got God of War, you know, Ratchet and Clank, and, like, we'll even do an honorable mention, Jak and Daxter. Where have they been? But really, Twisted Metal, and there hasn't been a game that's filled this void since this one came out. So Sony, I know I'm a small channel, I know you have no idea who I am, but please, bring back Twisted Metal, because this game deserves all the love and attention that the TV show is not going to give. Alright guys, and here we are, at number 1, franchises that are dead, that I want to see come back, and so badly, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for a sign of life for this franchise that honestly was never really taken super lightly, and even had ports to the PSP, started on the PS1, going on to the PS2. It was a game that utilized the PS1's advanced technology later on in its life cycle. I've just been waiting so long for Apes to Escape. And this title is none other than Ape Escape. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Just in that pause, thinking about the soundtrack, the level design, the apes, the weapons you get, the tools, everything about this game. Honestly, guys, this is my favorite video game of all time. It is. I don't know how many people feel the same way that I feel about this game, but I got this game, I think I was maybe 8 years old, 9 years old. This game came out in 99, so I was 8 years old. I was born in 91. It had everything that I ever wanted in a video game. Ape Escape required the DualShock controller to play, and I thought that was super awesome because I was lucky enough that I had a DualShock controller. So I was like, yes, this is for me. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even seek this game out. One day, one of my parents came home and was like, hey, got you a new game to play, tossed it to me. You know, it was all wrapped up in the plastic, had the price, you know, tag, the barcode on the top you had to peel off, and then also on the spine right here, and I took it out, put it in the system, and right away, the opening cutscene, it got me, it pulled me in. And then you have the start screen where it says new game, load game, options, and you just see your character Spike running around. And that opening song, it hooked me. It hooked me so much, guys, like, you're not gonna believe it, but on my iPhone, I have a playlist called Chill Morning. And one of those 4 songs that I listen to whenever I start my day is the opening to Ape Escape. See right here, Chill Morning playlist. Everything, like you hear it. It starts off a little slow, the same tones over and over, and then it just starts to hype up a little bit, and then it gets going. Don't sue me, Sony. Then you add the beat. And here. And then you get the horn. It's goosebumps. I listen to this song every day, every morning. It just brings me back to a simpler time, simpler place, of course. You know, I'm 30. I first played this game 22 years ago. Like, it's crazy. I feel like my 7-year-old right now and can't fathom the amount of time that's been spent between now and then. Like, like, every ape in this game has their own name, own personality. Every ape has their own stat bar, their speed, their awareness, their attack. All the levels range. It's so crazy because, like, if you don't know about this game, which a lot of you might not know, an ape gets one of the smart helmets here, becomes hyper aware, and literally tries to turn history backwards to where apes are the smarts and humans are the animals. And it's almost like, yeah, you could say like, oh, it's Planet of the Apes, but it is just so much more than that. You go through prehistoric times, you go to feudal Japan, you go to a carnival, like, theme park area, you go to a city, like, it keeps, like, Arctic zone, it spans, and it just, It is so much fun. The weapons and tools that the game equips you with, the further and further you get in the game, really help you out and explore different areas. And that's one thing about this title that a lot of people maybe kind of glance over because it's so linear, is you can go back once you're fully equipped and have everything unlocked and go to different areas of the maps that you weren't able to before. There's items like this this helicopter handheld device that can get you up to a certain height after your double jump that you might be able to use in an earlier level, you know, and you're like, how am I supposed to get up there? This game's broken. Like, that's impossible. But the replayability on this game is something worth mentioning because it might get glanced over. There's also 3 mini games that you can complete in this, or get in this game. Once you complete a certain task, well, it's really the same task for each one, is getting a coin. There are big special coins that you can unlock, or rather capture or collect in each level. There might be 1, there might be 2, but the more you get of them, you get to unlock these bonus games. One is a skiing game, one's a boxing game. I don't remember the other game off the top of my head right now, but Ape Escape just holds a special place in my heart. It's profitable, it's recognizable. I mean, even just looking at the box art itself, you know, and looking at the back as well. I mean, I'm sure it's blurry. I'll try to put up an image here in post. But Ape Escape, it's a platformer action adventure game that I think it would be, again, smart of Sony to bring back, especially for a new console, a new generation. I mean, this is considered retro now. Even the PS2 titles, they're considered retro. Bring it back. Bring it back. Hashtag Apes Will Escape. Alright guys, and there you have it. Those are my top 10 games, or rather dead franchises, that I would love to see come back in the modern day. Whether it be through a reboot, a remake, a remaster, whatever it may be, these franchises, these titles deserve new life in the modern day of gaming, where we're, you know, really force-fed game, you know, free-to-play games. We've got the Fortnites, we've got all these battle royale types, we've got all these mobile games that developers and companies just shove down our throats. But what they're missing is the spirit, the love, the comfort, and just the pure, it's going to sound cringe when I say this, but pure games for the gamers. Pure fun. And I think that is something that the gaming industry in general right now is really missing out on. I'm honestly glad and happy and surprised at like Halo Infinite's campaign and what it delivers. And for the first time in a long time, that was a game where once I put it down and wasn't playing it, I was thinking about it. And it was just solid. And these are games that I've put down and still think about to this day, and wonder what it would be like for these games to have new life. So let me know in the comments down below what games you guys would like to see come back in the modern day. Whether it be something from the NES, the Atari, you know, N64, PS1, whatever it may be, even Game Boy Color, whatever it may be. Let me know in the comments. Let's get some chatter going, and maybe we can get these companies' attention to bring back these games that were made for the gamers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this video. I know I may not be super technical, talk about the bits and the memory and this and that, whatever. You guys don't watch me for all that smart stuff. That's why you guys watch GameSack, okay? So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys for hanging around. If you've made it this far, leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. And as always guys, be blessed, be a blessing to others. Have a great day. Oh! And also, make sure to check out Drink a Beer and Play a Game. I am now officially a part of their channel, but I am on their Bonus Beers podcast that is exclusive for their patrons at the $5 tier and up. So make sure to check them out, give us a like, give us a listen over there, and we'll see you in the next video. Later. Let me be your papa, okay? A Papa Nick, telling you about the video game.